The show starts in 8 minutes.
Witness the takeoff of the first manned rocket to outer space. We pick up the count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
We're off to visit the planets. There are treats galore in the stars. Venus is loaded with candy, and ice cream is found upon Mars. The soda pumps listen on Saturn. When you're thirsty, it's sure it's the spot. And Jupiter's really jumping with popcorn that's buttered and hot. But the best of them all is the planet, where all of these treats are at hand. And that is the spot we now head for, our theater refreshment stand.
Wait till you see what I get from the refreshment counter. Oh boy, popcorn and candy bars and ice cream and oh boy, sparkling ice cold Coca-Cola. Oh boy, that tastes good. Have you been to the refreshment counter?
Remember, your favorite snack will taste especially good with world-famous ice-cold Coca-Cola.
The show starts in 7 minutes.
With mustard and relish, you'll guarantee mouth-watering satisfaction. And now he sips his costume on a beautiful golden bun. There's his cue to go out on stage.
He's the natural.
He's the rage. Meet this personality at our refreshment counter. Treat the family.
Something different for a change? Then try the perfect refreshment. Chili Dilly, a delicious pickle treat that's spiced just right for every bite. Economical, too. There's no waste. You eat every bit of the juicy goodness of Chili Dilly. How about trying one right now? Chili Dilly, on sale at our concession stand. You'll love them.
Friends are meeting at the snack bar. There's real good eating at the snack bar. Real taste treating at the snack bar. Get Dr. Pepper, more than refreshing. Get Dr. Pepper at the snack bar.
And I seen the vast majority of the room having a good laugh at my expense. Therefore, I must assume that the room is, is knowledgeable about what was going on, because they were all laughing and cutting up and talking and commenting about it and having a good time. Now I find I have this article in the classified ads on the web where I am supposedly fucking young boys up the ass. That is not funny. And there is no apology that this room could ever give me that I will ever accept. Ever. Okay? It's just that simple. You cannot possibly come up with any apology that I will accept for that shit. Now I've got the whole fucking planet thinking that I am fucking young men up the ass, possibly even a pedophile, which means I could be having the FBI knocking on my fucking door at any time. That pisses me the fuck off. You thought I was pissed before about the other shit that you wrote about me? Oh, dude, you have no idea how pissed off I am now.
Folks. All right. Folks, what are we doing up this time in the morning? Oh my God, my sleep is screwed up. I wanted to do one of these this week. I was going to do it earlier. Didn't have the time. Woke up at an insane hour this morning. I do apologize for the noise outside. I'll mute momentarily. But I thought, what the heck, we'll try to do it. Didn't want to do too early. Didn't want to do too late. So this should be pretty short. This is under an hour. I'm going to actually speed it up here. We should be out of here by 10. Of course, that's what I said last time. And then we had Kamal and VONHELTON bumping heads. So that was interesting. But folks, yes, we are still doing a Weirdo Wonderland tonight. We've got a tight little show put together. It looks like it's going to be another beautiful day out. So we're going to get out and enjoy that. But we're going to have a little fun. We're going to listen to part 2 of the interview we started last week. Wanted to get through that. And again, for new people coming in, we are doing a Weirdo Wonderland tonight. I've got some new fun gifts for everybody. We got new gifts. Of course, doing this through the StreamYard, I can't play the gifts. So if you do want to do a super chat, I'll feature it, of course. And listen, folks, we're not even hiding it anymore. If you just want to donate directly to me, listen, folks, we got to get serious as the lawnmower goes by, folks. I'm not even hiding it. It's a shameless beer fund. We all knew it. Let's just admit it. Want to donate to my 6-pack tonight. If you want to contribute to my delinquency and Thursday night alcoholism before I go out and do my running around, you can donate directly to me there so I can get a case of beer. I'm just throwing it out there, or not, because we're just here for the love of the game. Who cares? So I am going to speed this up, like I said. This is part 2 of the 2013 interview. I'm going to put a link out, too, if anybody wants to join here momentarily. I want to get this going first. Let's go about there and see where we're at. Folks, thank you for joining me. Please thumbs up the video, and let's go.
Became famous on YouTube or whatever, Delphi forums, marriage, a couple other things you did for the government, things you did for the army, and action things. But listen, I want to kind of throw into tonight, and I kind of alluded to it in the last interview that we're kind of going to talk about tonight. So when did you start doing videos or whatever? When did that happen? What year did that?
I started doing videos in earnest. Let's see, what was it? My very first video was called Hello World, and I think that was posted to YouTube in 2005. I think it was either 2005 or 2006. I think it was 2005, if I recall correctly.
Right. Okay. Well, so was that just like was it a video for what was the video about? Do you remember what it was about? Do you remember if it was what was the topic? Was it the fact? It
was actually I had joined a group called Covert Conservatives, and I was actually talking to them in the video, telling them that I was out here and that I was no longer in the closet or no longer covert because I was live on camera, and I was basically saying hello world. So I was no longer a covert conservative. I was going to go out and tell the whole world, like I'd always done prior to the internet. And basically, it was a very short video, as I recall, too.
Rubber Wilbur, I actually covered the Corky firing before, but I do have some new Corky material from him being drunk, summoning demons and stuff, so that should be interesting. Tune in tonight.
Only like 2 minutes long, I think.
Right, okay.
But I basically gave kudos to the covert conservatives and said hello world and showed my ugly mug for the first time. And of course the camera quality, the camera quality left a lot to be desired because at the time I had probably the cheapest webcam on in the world, I would imagine. And it was mostly a grainy mess, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you ended up doing all that, and you started doing the YouTube videos and everything. What were you doing, more YouTube videos, or were you doing more blog TV videos?
At first I was doing YouTube videos left, right, and center on every topic that passed under my nose. I did a YouTube video on, because back then the YouTube video, the most you was allowed was 10 minutes. And so I would do a 10-minute video on literally every newspaper article I could get my hands on, and give my opinion on it. And that's what I did. And my listing under YouTube was reporter. So
Right.
I mean, I was being a reporter and reporting on news, particularly if the news was something either scandalous or something that the mainstream media did not want to cover for whatever reason.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, when did you really start getting involved in the whole UFO kind of secret society, all that kind of stuff? When did that really start?
Oh Lord, that happened a long time ago, dude.
Right.
So, my father was a Knights Templar and my mother was Eastern Star.
Yeah.
And my dad had one of the rings with the big G on it with the compass, and whatever. And I asked him one day. I said, Dad, what's that G mean on your ring there? And I guess I wasn't. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old maybe. And I'm like, Dad, what's that big G on there? And he didn't want to elaborate. So, being the enterprising gent that I was, I got up off my lazy ass and actually physically went to a library, started pulling down books to find out what that G on that ring meant. And as time wore on, I did more and more studying. Every chance I got, I'd go to the library and pull down books and go through Microfiche and go through the card catalog. Anybody remember the card catalog?
Oh yeah.
So literally spend well, in some cases several days just trying to figure out what it was all about. And to tell you the truth, a lot of what I read really disturbed me. Because particularly the upper levels of Freemasonry are not exactly God-fearing men.
Right.
And there's a lot of weird shit going on, all kinds of weird initiations and secret societies and secret handshakes and all this other stuff. And as I'm one to remember, Ben Franklin said, that which is done in the light of day is liberty, and that which is done in secret is tyranny.
Right.
And he's absolutely right about that. I'm beginning to find out. But yeah, I got involved in this whole thing because my parents were involved up to their eyebrows in it. My dad actually got a newsletter from the Knights Templar. I think it was like bi-monthly.
Right.
Twice a month he'd get an actual newsletter from the Knights Templar, and he was a member in good standing. And my mom was Eastern Star, which is female version of Freemasonry, and she had that big multicolored star around her neck every now and then. So yeah, I'm literally up to my eyebrows in it, and went to the library and started doing some research on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so I'm gonna get into the the question I really have, I think what a lot of us want to know is when did this whole thing with you're making the YouTube videos and everything like that, and I told you I wanted to kind of get into the controversial subjects tonight. So really, where did the whole thing with this video come down at? How did that all went down, this Kelly video thing?
The Kelly video. All right. I was in a Skype call with a group of people, and one of the individuals in the Skype call was named, his name on Skype was, and on YouTube for that matter, was called Mr. Anonymous Dick. That was his nickname, both on Skype and on YouTube. And I guess I must have pissed him off or something. Mm-hmm. And so he decides he's going to play a little trick on me, so he thinks. Mm-hmm. And he takes an old account that his wife had set up long ago on Blog TV. Mm-hmm. And he decides to come into my room in that account. And I mean, just the fact that he poses as a woman on the internet should be all you need to know just exactly what the mentality of this individual is. But anyway, he comes into the room posing as a female who is in distress and who's seeking asylum out of her state because she fears for her life, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I have helped people in the past get out of situations like that. I mean, and I'm pretty damn good at it, if I do say so myself.
Right.
And so, when somebody comes to me that's in distress, I'm going to do everything in my level power to get them out of it. And that's how the conversation started. Now, obviously, as we found out, it didn't end that way. It ended up with me allegedly wanting nude pics of a minor, and her age kept changing like the damn seasons.
Right.
You know, and but see, initially, and Blog TV has verified this. Initially, Kelly, quote unquote, was a 31-year-old female.
Okay. Yeah.
But see, and the conversations that I had with Kelly spanned over a 5-day period.
Right.
But see, the trolls don't want to tell you about the other 4 days. They want to tell you about that last day.
Right.
But the original premise was that she was a 31-year-old female who was in distress, and she needed to relocate to another area because she feared for her life. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And but like I said, that 5th day, everything got turned on its ear. She started changing her age. She started out at 31, then she was 28, then she was 25, then she was 19, then she was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then when see, the reason he went to 17 is because he thought 18 was the legal minimum in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But when he found out that 16 was legal age in Kentucky, then he come back and changed his age again and said that Kelly was 13 or 14, I think, something like that. And so he kept changing the age. And when you're in a conversation with somebody and they change their age like about 5 or 6 times, anybody with a brain cell of a flea is going to figure out that something funny is going on. Right?
Yeah. VONHELTON didn't stop. In fact, when it went as old as 15 with a picture of a nude 13-year-old, he was, send me them pics, baby. Send me them pics.
Right. So I decided, well, I'll play along with this shit, and see who this is.
Right.
But then it started turning ugly because then she started claiming she's a minor and that she's wanting to, oh, you want my new pics, don't you? And, you need my new, and I'm like, no, all I need from you is your ID. That's all I need from you, and I gave her my email so that she could send me a copy of her ID. And so what the trolls done is they took that where I gave my email and then they put nude pics on there and then put my email under it to make it look like I'm soliciting for nude pics. Luckily for me, Blog TV reviewed the unedited chat logs and basically told the trolls they were full of shit.
That's not what happened.
That's
not what happened at all.
Good thing. Right. But that's the Kelly video in a nutshell.
Right.
It was a 30-something-year-old bearded man posing as a young girl, which, by the way, is a felony if you're not law enforcement. I might add.
Right.
And so that's the thing with the Kelly video.
Right. Well, when did you really first start going, something's amiss here, something's not right?
When they started changing their age.
Yeah.
When they started changing their age, man. People don't change their age in mid-conversation.
Stop.
Hang on just a second.
But he didn't stop, folks. He didn't stop. The age got younger and he got more interested. Oh, we've all seen it. We don't have to relive it. It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem.
Revisionist.
So you're doing the whole thing of you're dealing with the shit that's going on with the Kelly video and things like that, and you're dealing with the fact that she's changing her age as it goes along, and you start suspecting stuff. So how did you actually find out that it was this guy, Mr. Anonymous?
He admitted to it.
I'm sorry.
To it. He came into my Blog TV show and admitted to it.
Admitted to it, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, admitted to it.
Ballsy.
Yep, he actually admitted to it. In fact, there's a video out there with him live on my co-host on Blog TV, admitting to the whole damn thing. So yeah.
What was the reasoning? Not that there is a good reason or anything like that, but what was the reason he gave for doing that?
Try and get me in trouble. I mean, that's just that simple. Tried to get me in trouble. Didn't like me. Didn't like my views on things. Wanted to get me in trouble. Period. End of story.
Huh. Well, that's kind of weird that he would just pick you at random to do something like that.
He didn't pick me at random. He didn't like my views. He didn't like on my YouTube videos. He didn't like
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, because, and I know this may be a tender subject for you, and the mouse is sitting there right there. So the trolls always bring up this whole thing about, who called CPS on you. I mean, you have her come up from Alabama and everything, or whatever, to you meet online or wherever you meet, and who you meet, and she comes up there to live with you. You two later on get married, you have some children. What happened with that whole situation? What did happen to that whole deal? How did CPS become involved anyway in your lives? I mean, I know the trolls call it that you say, and I've seen some videos where they call CPS and like that. So
you're not well. I mean, this sounds like a horror movie gone bad. I mean, it really does.
Okay.
But these trolls on YouTube actually convinced a doctor, a female doctor, to leave her practice in Tennessee and come up to Kentucky and actually get into the nearest city so that she would be in line to deal with my children. And I mean, this is you talk about ballsy. This is ballsy right here. Literally risk her doctor's license to come up here and try to get my kids taken away from me. See, if it hadn't been for this doctor coming up here, who, by the way, admitted that she watched my videos and that she was one of my haters.
Okay.
Admitted this live in front of witnesses. But to risk her doctor's license to come up here and slander me and saying that there was piss and shit in my kid's hair when there was not. Because I have witnesses from McDonald's, I have witnesses from IGA, and I have witnesses from Walmart that all said no, there wasn't nothing in the kid's hair.
Right.
Nothing. Okay. So she literally perjured herself in a court of law to try and get my kids taken away from me because she did not like, by her own admission, she did not like my opinions on YouTube. about certain topics.
What topic?
Yeah, yet again, someone just out of the blue, right? It's just ridiculous. But I would like to point out that Von Helton didn't have any of these witnesses show up to court to testify on his behalf. It's just his story after the fact that all these people seen it, therefore she's a liar. I wonder why no one would show up and testify, folks. Thank you for joining me.
Obviously, the topics about aliens or
extraterrestrials, corrupt government, the whole nine yards.
Right. Well, I guess my question is, are you not, as a free, or what we call free American, do you not think that you're entitled to have your free speech, or is that what you think some of these people out there think, that you're not entitled to have your free?
Apparently they don't. Apparently they don't. You know, apparently their hate videos are free speech, but my videos talking about conspiracies and stuff aren't. I mean, that's apparently the way they believe. Because if they didn't believe that way, they wouldn't do what they do, right?
Right. And I've often asked myself in the situation. I know, you know, and to be honest with you, just full disclosure for the audience here, I at one time, you know, stumbled upon Vaughn. That's how I got to know Vaughn's videos, and I stumbled across one of his videos. I think it was you titled the video something about the NWO and everything. I actually thought Vaughn, by the way, I've always been kind of interested in aliens and conspiracy theories, stuff like that. I actually thought this was a video about the NWO, the New World Order, like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was about that NWO. You know, I thought, well, you know, he's doing a fucking wrestling report or whatever. Then I was like, oh, okay, that NWO. That okay, not the NWO Black and White, not the NWO Wolfpack. He's doing about the New World Order, the actual running the government and everything like that.
Right, exactly.
But when did so you have this doctor come up to around Manchester or whatever, to up in your state to do a practice or whatever. But when does it become a situation where they're coming to take your kids, and why? And what was their legality? I guess what was the final thing where they said, you know, we're taking your kids, and what justifiable reason did he use?
Actually, CPS can take your kids for any reason they want.
Okay.
In fact, the way it works, CPS is the only government agency that actually works in reverse.
Okay.
See, most governmental agencies, there has to be valid, legitimate reasons in order to seize a hold of you and take you into court, et cetera, et cetera. But with CPS, it's the exact opposite. With CPS, they come and take your kids, and then you got to prove in a court of law that you're innocent to get your kids back. So it's the exact opposite, you know. And you know, just any trumped up charge they want. I mean, dirty floors, you know, a dirty spoon was left on the table or something. I mean, just crazy, any old thing they want to dream up. And then they take the kids, and then you got to go to court to get your kids back. That's how it works. Now, I can't speak for other states, but that's how it works down here in my little neck of the woods. And so, you know, once CPS got their toe in the door, you know, it was hard to get them out of there because the trolls on YouTube would call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, practically. And, you know, oh, Bond's kids is in danger. You got to come quick. And see, CPS has to, you know, according to CPS's own people, they have to respond to every call, no matter how stupid, no matter how crazy it is. They have to respond to every call. So now I had people calling from Switzerland. I had people calling from the Netherlands. I had people calling from Scotland. I had people calling from literally all over the world, calling CPS because they put CPS's number up for anybody to call. And, you know, and so they, you know, just stupid things, you know. Bond's holding his baby upside down on camera and other stupid shit like that. Right. And so they'd send CPS out here with police to take my kids, and I'd have to go to court to get my damn kids back. And see, the sad part about this whole mess is that while CPS was dealing with me and my wife and my kids, 18 babies died in the state of Kentucky because CPS workers, instead of going to children that really were in danger, they were all coming out here to my house. And so as a result, 18 children died. And a state senator, got involved. And needless to say, all the bullshit with CPS come to a screeching halt after that. Because the senator's like, where are all my CPS workers? And I said, ma'am, I'm looking at them. And she's like, what? I said, that's right. They're all in my backyard with a whole bunch of police. And she's like, what? And so, you know, to make a long story short, CPS ain't coming back out here no more. Not unless they want to violate that senator. And I don't think they want to do that. So, you know, so yeah, it got to be a mess. And like I said, 18 babies lost their lives because of a bunch of assholes on YouTube. Because of a bunch of assholes on YouTube, 18 children are dead in the state of Kentucky that would have been if the CPS workers had been going to people that really were in danger, children that really were in danger. And so that, as far as I'm concerned, that's unforgivable. There is no way they can sugarcoat it. There's no way they're going to get out of it. There's no way they're going to be able to redeem themselves. That blood is on their hands, and I hope they burn in a special kind of hell for it for the rest of all eternity, because that's what they deserve. Hell, they deserve worse than that, really. Right. I don't know if there's anything worse than that.
Well, Well, let me ask you. I mean, playing devil's advocate and everything. Was there any kind of situation that they found when they came there?
No, not really. The most they could find is that the house was cluttered. Which if you got kids, I mean, ask anybody that's got kids. The house is going to be cluttered at any given moment of the day.
Right.
It's not like it's not like we weren't trying to keep the house squared away. It's just that when you got kids, you're going to have stuff. I mean, one time they come out on Christmas Eve and took my children because there was Christmas boxes in the floor. Okay, and the judge, even the judge wasn't happy about that one.
Right.
Even the judge was not happy about that one.
Well, did they? You said that they came out there and they grabbed you up and everything. And so, what did they say to you when they came out there? Did they say, we're here because you're a pitiful father or whatever like that?
What they say all the time. We got a call. We got to take the kids, and we'll see you in court. But they say all the time.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, this is Christmas time, so we're just gonna take the kids.
Doesn't matter. Like I said, they have to respond. They have to respond to every call, no matter how stupid it is. They have to. Apparently, it must be some law of theirs or something. But they got to respond to every call, no matter how stupid. And so, yeah, they literally took my kids because there were Christmas boxes in the floor.
That makes sense.
And when it got to trial, obviously the judge was not happy. He was not happy about that.
Right. Well, that's insane that they actually came out there and.
Yes, on Christmas Eve. That's right. And took my kids. That's right. They sure did.
Okay. Well, and then let me ask you this.
Yeah, the part of that story that he's leaving out is that the boxes he's talking about were actually boxes of spoiled food that he had out of the fridge just up on the counter. And like spoiled food in the fridge, and it was just a fucking disaster. But anyways, I digress.
Where is the whole thing about? What was the final thing about it? What was the final solution on this whole thing?
The final solution? Oh, the trolls had threatened to start calling CPS out to my house every day.
Okay.
Literally calling CPS out to my house every day. And so I called that senator back. The senator that wanted to know where all our CPS workers was. I called her back, and I said, "Ma'am, something's got to be done. These assholes on YouTube are threatening to call CPS out to my house literally every single day." And she's like, "Yeah," and I played her the video where they were talking about it on YouTube, and she's like, "Oh my goodness," and I said, "Ma'am, something needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. I cannot live my life with CPS coming out to my goddamn house every day. I mean, that's insanity."
Yeah.
And the CPS were, "Oh, we got to come for every call," and I told the senator that too. I told him what they said. I told him, CPS told me flat to my face that they have to come on every call, no matter how stupid it is. And she said, "I will take care of this for you, Mr. VONHELTON." And as far as I know, she has taken care of it.
Right.
So CPS ain't been back since.
But you said that I know that you said something about the fact that it caused some damage to your kids and what did it?
Yes, there is circumstantial evidence to suggest that my children were not exactly treated very nice under foster care while these 5 court cases were being played out.
Oh, okay. Well, let me back up real quick. Why were there 5? There
were 5 court cases because the trolls kept calling. The trolls called them out here to my house.
There were 5 court cases involving you and your children.
Yes.
Well, that's insane. There seemed like there would just be one.
Well, exactly. There should have just been one. But see, like I said, it's all convoluted down here. CPS comes, takes your kids, then you got to go to court and prove that you're innocent to get them back.
Right. Okay.
And so it works in the opposite of every other government agency. Any other government agency, it would have never seen the light of day. Because you weigh the facts before calling everybody into court.
Right.
But the final, the judge. See, here's the thing: the judge even put his foot down on this matter, particularly when he found out that one of the workers wasn't even licensed to work in the state of Kentucky. And he's like, and he stated publicly, he said, if I had more information on this matter, it would have never went to trial in the first place.
Right.
It never went to trial. But he, I guess, didn't realize just how stupid this whole thing really was.
Yeah.
And so, of course, now everybody down here knows who all the trolls on YouTube are. And so does the judges and district attorney, everybody down here, even the FBI and CIA down here. They all know who the trolls on YouTube are. They all know about their videos, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you said that your kids were, what were they abused? How were they abused? Do you even talk about that? Do you know what they were abused? How they were treated?
Well, obviously, I wasn't there to witness it, but when I got my kids back, they would wake up in the middle of the night just screaming bloody murder, like somebody tried to kill them. I mean, loud, I mean, enough to shake the windows.
Right.
And so I would have to, me and the wife would have to take turns getting up and consoling them in the middle of the night.
Right.
And then one day, my boy had food all over his face, and I grabbed a washcloth and was going to wipe his face off because he had food on his face.
Right.
When I put that washcloth on his face, he flailed about with his arms like somebody who was being suffocated with a pillow.
Wow.
That was the exact actions. That was the exact actions that he did. Was like somebody being suffocated by a pillow. And I turned to my wife and I said, "There's no way in hell that this infant could know that unless he experienced it firsthand."
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
And the foster parents themselves admitted publicly, openly, in front of witnesses, that they did in fact leave the children unattended with their daughter and her boyfriend. It was their niece. Okay, left the children unattended with their niece and her boyfriend. Okay, and they stated that publicly in front of witnesses. Huh. So obviously something occurred. I do not know what, but I can make some pretty good assumptions.
Right. Well, and I want to move on from there. You got the kids back and everything, of course. Now you've got the kids, and
right.
How has this affected them since they were gone and then they came?
Well, the two girls. Well, the eldest girl is faring very well. Mm-hmm. She's pretty much. I'm hoping that she's pretty much over it. Mm-hmm. But the twins, the boy and the girl, particularly the boy, still have lasting remnants of it. Mm-hmm. The boy will still, every once in a blue moon, start screaming in the middle of the night. Yeah, hence the reason why I have to be up during the middle of the night, or my wife does, one or the other.
Right.
And now the youngest girl seems to be starting to come out of it. Hopefully, mm-hmm. She appears like it anyway, and so that's good. She hasn't had night terrors in quite a while, mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that she's snapping out of it, because she's talking and walking and is happy and bubbly and whatnot. Mm-hmm. The boy, however, is not talking. All he makes is guttural noises or screaming noises. He can say a word every now and then, or he makes a noise that kind of sounds like a word. Mm-hmm. But there's no question that he is way behind his sibling sister. Right. Way behind. Right. And it's entirely possible that he may have suffered irreparable damage as a result of this whole thing.
Right. Well, and I think we talked about once in the hangout before. You got autism because of this, or
possible autism. We don't know at this point. I mean, it could be anything. Right. We're basically we're like it or not, we're basically on a wait and see basis at this point. Mm-hmm. We've had him. I mean, he's been looked at by numerous doctors and nurses, and we're going to see how he does in the next year or so. If he snaps out of it within the next year or so, then everything's cool. Mm-hmm. But if he's 3 years old, mm-hmm. and he's still acting like he is now, well, then it's pretty much a given that he's a problem. And then we're going to seek out some experts to, try and get him taken care of.
Right.
But we're on a wait and see at this point. We're going to wait until he's 3, and if he's still way behind, mm-hmm. Like he is now, then then that's when we're going to call in the experts and have a nice little powwow with some experts to see what's going on and what our options are.
Right. Well, I'll ask this. I asked this for the question of, at that point, we find out maybe what happened to him. Maybe they find out what kind of treatment he was under or anything when he was, maybe something happened to him, like you said, when he was with the foster children, that foster home or whatever. Maybe you find out then about what caused him to do that way.
None of that will ever come to light today. I don't.
Okay.
I doubt it. Okay. I doubt any of that would ever come to light today. It would be nice if it would, but I seriously doubt it will.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you about, you had a computer problem here. You run a computer business out of your home. So for all the people out there who need a custom computer, contact Mr. VONHELTON there. He'll help you out. He'll keep you up. So you were telling me about a computer situation that happened. Maybe how long ago did this computer situation happen with a YouTuber trying to basically pull a fast one?
Yeah. Basically, what it was, like you said, I build custom computers and then I repair computers as well. PCs, that is, not Macs. Mm-hmm. And I don't do laptops either, but I may start doing them later on. But yeah, I build and repair PCs. And the trolls on YouTube caught wind of the fact that that was my line of work. Mm-hmm. And so what one of them done was he found somebody here in the States, because he was across the pond. He was in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, he's in the Netherlands. You never know with a troll because they're habitual liars. Right. But he was in the Netherlands, claimed to be. And what he done was he found somebody here in the States that would be willing to plunk down almost $2,000 for a computer. And I guess their little scheme was that they would then try to take me to court and say that I was putting used parts in a computer and that the computer smelled and all this other gobbledygook.
Right.
And luckily for me, though, I actually, and I guess it must have been fate, but something told me, said, make a video of you building this computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you get that message in your gut? You get a gut feeling to do something. Make a video of you putting this computer together.
Right.
And so I did. In fact, I made a video of me opening up the box as I got it and, pointing out all the parts and then me putting all the parts in it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new. All brand new. The case is brand new. Monitors are really nice monitors, all brand new. Every part brand spanking new. And but someone, I had a feeling in my gut. Let's put it that way. I had a feeling in my gut. Make a video about me putting, getting those parts and putting the computer together. Well, as it turns out, that was their plan, though. He made 2 YouTube videos about it, 1600 problems, they were called, where he claims that she and him both claim that I was going to try and put used parts in the computer and that the computer had a foul odor and that it wasn't right and all this other stuff and it was a ploy to try and destroy my business. They wanted to hurt me in the wallet, and luckily they did not succeed. But that's not the point. The point is that you would have to really hate somebody a lot to try and destroy their business, their way of life, particularly when you know that man's got 3 little kids to feed. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to hurt my source of income and me with kids to feed. But there's some really sick, twisted people out there, evil people out there that'll do anything and everything they can to try to destroy somebody.
Right.
And that's just the way it is.
Huh. Well, I wonder why.
So for people that are new, basically a lady feeling bad for Von Helton gave him an opportunity because he's been crying that his business has been destroyed before he even was on YouTube. I just want to make that clear. Back in the Delphi forums, he used to cry that the trolls back then destroyed his computer business. He's also blamed Obama, ironically, the person who indirectly raised his kids for the first half of their life. But anyways, I digress. This lady paid him $1,600 to build her a computer, and it was like a trial run because apparently she owned a business and would maybe have more computer work for him to do in the future. Von Helton took the job, and it was funny. Anytime anybody asked Von Helton anything about getting their computer repaired, he'd shoot them down and say, I'll kill you on the shipping. He'd actually talk people out of sending them computers. But he took the $1,600, ordered her some stuff, showed the video. Just kind of weird timing. He actually replaced some parts in his computer so he could play some new game out at the time. And then the story was when she got her computer back, it didn't work and accused him of having some old parts, and it stunk like a dirty, rank, old fucking garbage FEMA trailer. So I'm just saying. Folks, I'm going to put the link out if everybody wants to come in because we're clipping along here. We're over halfway through the video. Anybody wants to come in, come on in. Do it like this. We'll do it like that, folks. Remember, if you want to contribute to my delinquency for my Heineken tonight, you can do that too, but it's up to you, folks. Thumbs up the video because that's what matters. Let's keep going.
That is why the, and I've seen you talk about it. We've talked about it before in some of our hangouts. Why, there's 11,000, used to be 17,000. Why is there so much hate out there? That you actually generate that much hate. What do you think it is?
They're New World Order lackeys.
Mm-hmm.
They're either New World Order lackeys who are getting paid by the government, or they're New World Order lackeys because they're too stupid to realize they're New World Order lackeys. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, let me throw this out there. What if they're not? What if they're not New World Order lackeys, or
well, if they're not, then they're clinically and physically and mentally insane, and they need to be admitted to into a nice little.
Thank you. Welcome to the stream. I got Naysayer here as a request. I don't know about the Tiger Rock song, but there is a Tiger Rock video. I'd have to dig around. How are you doing this morning?
Hi.
Hello. Just enjoying some early. I guess what time is it where you are? I guess it'd be later in the day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's like 2:30.
There you go. Some afternoon delight with Von Helton.
Oh yeah, I'm happy I'm finally able to watch them live instead of trying to catch up after the fact. It's so nice.
All right, well, we're going to move ahead with this. I'll try to find the Tiger Rock. We got a request for Tiger Rock, so I'll see what I can do.
Rubber room with no windows. You know, because those are the only two options I can come up with. They're either a New World Order puppet, or they're crazier than a mud fence. All right, and so that's the only two things I can come up with. I can't come up with nothing else.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
And now, like I said, you know, some of them are probably doing it because they're getting paid to. Still, others are doing it because they're just hanging on the coattails of the other people. But it doesn't matter. They're all tools on the New World Order because they're doing what New World Order wants them to do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a couple more questions for you, and a couple more topics real quick before we end here. We're going to run over a little bit, probably about 105 or something. But basically, you had a problem with a gentleman in Canada and everything. So I went back and watched his video titles and everything. He talks about you constantly. But I haven't seen a video for a while now about him, about you and everything like that. But you obviously know what I'm talking about. What is the deal with him?
Which one? I mean, I got tons. Secular Opinion?
Yes.
Secular Opinion allegedly lives in Canada.
Okay.
And I do not know this man from Adam. I've never done anything to this man. I've never interacted with him, of course, until I started making hate videos about me, obviously. But I never interacted with this person. Never made a hate video about this person. Don't know him from Adam. Never harmed him physically, financially, emotionally, or spiritually. So, you know, why is he doing what he's doing? I guess because he's either A, getting paid, or B, he's loonier than a fucking fruitcake.
So just to be clear here, folks, he has cast spells on me and threatened me with physical violence, put a mob hit on me, released my docs, had my work attacked, and that's just a short list. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
So it can't be the fact that, you know, you don't like what he's doing, the fact that you have a problem with the fact that he is abusive to his children, he is a shit racist person, or the fact that, like, for me, I guess, I hate people like him that say they're pagan, because they're not. They're just fucking unmedicated. But no, it can't be any of that. It's got to be that you're a paid shill or you're absolutely insane. Can't be a real thing like, I don't know, maybe because he's a bad person. No, can't be that.
Right. Well, it makes much more sense that Dr. Del Mundo was watching his YouTube videos and didn't agree with his opinions on Obama, rather than there was actual feces and urine in their hair and spoiled milk in their bottle. But
I took great offense to what he was saying about the children when they came back, and they're obvious signs they were abused. Like, no, that's just normal kid stuff. Like, children have nightmares. It happens, or it could, like, but going back to that place, they're going to be a bit traumatized because it is a scary situation. The face cloth thing, what did he think they were, like, waterboarding the kids?
Well, I'm just wondering what would more likely to induce trauma, like night terrors. Would it be like, obviously going to a foster home and whatnot would be traumatizing, or listening to VONHELTON screaming at trolls, naysayers, and haters at 4 a.m, or pulling them out of bed and throwing them on camera and making them testify. And I'm just wondering, I mean, I think that stuff would have much more of a psychological.
I just wonder, like, what the fuck was he telling them as well? Like, I don't for a second believe that he wasn't in their ear saying things to them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
I mean, we've seen it on camera.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that because I am still quite new to the whole Von thing.
There's some footage, and I have the footage, but I'm reluctant to show it because I don't like kids and stuff on the camera. But he's pulled his kids on camera, and he's been telling them since they could understand what he's saying. You know, the trolls on YouTube drove your mom insane. That's why you don't have a mummy. And
that's an awful thing to say.
Oh, I know.
I am a mother, and her father isn't in the picture because he decided to go do meth. I've never once said to her, like, your dad's a dirty drug addict. I've gone when she's asked, like, he's not very well and he can't come back until he's better. Because that's the right thing to do. I've never once said bad things about them or stuff. Like, why would you do that to your children? That's so fucking damaging.
Well, because he's a small, petty man. Small, petty man.
I don't think we can really call him a man.
Possibility.
Well, and then I would ask you this, and if a person comes out and he says that they're normal, let's just say that they're normal, and I think we all have our own little quirks and everything.
Right.
But there are just those people out there that come out and they go, like Von Helton, he's crazier than a pet coon in a goddamn tin box, And what do you say to people that think you're out of your mind, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you know you lost all sense of reality? What do you say to them?
Repeat that question again.
Okay. The question is, what do you think about the people that are out there? I mean, because you're out, your trolls, your haters, your naysayers, as you say, they're out there that come out to you and say, VONHELTON, you're just fucking crazy. You're batshit crazy. You don't know what the hell's going on. You've lost your mind. What do you say to that?
I'd say, well, let's see. They said I was crazy when I said that the Bilderberg group was real. But then Bill Clinton got up on stage and said, yeah, I attended the Bilderberg meeting. So I wasn't crazy about that. And then I told them that Hellion 1957 was going to slam into the sun. They all said I was crazy about that. And then Hellion 1957 slammed into the sun and made the sky orange at 12 o'clock midnight over in Europe. So I wasn't crazy about that. Well, more recently, I was talking about zombies and the possibility of zombies. And then zombies ended up in the mainstream news from some sort of drug called bath salts. And so I wasn't crazy about the zombies. And so, you know, I'm wondering what it is I'm crazy about, because this far I've been batting 1,000.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, so I'm going to throw it out here. There's a question out in the chat.
Like, yes, you're right about a few things. That doesn't mean that you're right about everything. Like, this whole zombies thing in the media, they weren't even real zombies.
Oh, right.
You
That's
could say that, oh yeah, people with gaming, they're zombies. People with pot, they're zombies. Like, pick and choose which one. You can throw a dart in it, any number of things, and go, oh look, they've been zombified. Technically,
Well, yeah,
if you've been brought back from the dead, you're a zombie. So anyone that's had their heart restarted is a zombie.
Right. So basically, the way it goes with Vaughn, he was wrong on all that stuff. Hellion, this big planetoid comet thing, did not slam into the sun and turn the. He's just he believes it.
I've
He has a
never heard of that. I'm
well, no,
I've
it's
never heard of it before.
well, how happens like with the zombie thing, right? He's on a kick that zombies are gonna happen. Then he was showing videos about like fungus that can turn ants into like control them and stuff. And then all of a sudden the story come out about a dude on bath salts acting weird, and there was a whole bunch more to that story. But that was close enough to VONHELTON. That was the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. So
That's
he was not right
ridiculous.
about anything. That's my
There's
point.
so many different kinds of parasites that can do that sort of thing. There's a parasite that lives in a fish that then goes into the fish. The fish then goes to the surface and makes it get eaten by a bird. The bird gets the parasite, lays the eggs in the bird, then the bird craps into the water and the cycle starts again. Like, there are loads of parasites that cause animals to change their behavior for the betterment of the parasite, not just an ant thing. And it's been documented for fucking centuries. Like, how it's so easy to research, so easy. How can you be so wrong about so much?
Well, that's VONHELTON would take that as a win that zombies are real. So anything he ever said about zombies ever is right now. So that's how he works.
And the question is, to you, Vaughn, who the hell are the trolls who call the government to try to destroy your family? That's horrible, she says. Which damn trolls were they?
All right. Well, one of them's name is Loves to Dance. That's her handle here on YouTube, Loves to Dance. She's a real bitch. She got drunk one time and left her kid unattended in the background. So she's also a hypocrite. Then there's George Bush Pence, who is either homosexual or bisexual, not really sure which, but I guess he's butthurt because he has some perceived slight against me of some kind, and he called CPS. And then there's Sherry 226. She called CPS, and she claimed in a Google Hangout that she didn't call, but it came to light that somebody found her old archived comments and found out that yes, she did indeed call CPS. And these are that's the three. Mark Groening allegedly called. He's the guy that lives in Scotland. Not sure if Jay Stevio in the Netherlands called or not. Trying to remember if he said he called or not. But there was quite a few of them that actually called and tried to destroy my family. Yeah, for real.
Well, that's kind of messed up if that's what they were trying to do. But to play devil's advocate here, what do they, what one of them says to you, Vaughn, I was just looking out for your children. I was just trying to make sure your children were okay.
Well, apparently nobody knows how to use Google, because if they went on Google and Google foster care, they would have gotten the truth about how foster care actually does more harm to children than good. There is case after case after case after case of CPS and foster care actually doing more harm to children than good. These are all public; they're all out there for the whole world to see.
Right.
And
Yeah, of course,
so
if you look for ones that are making bad, you'll
also
find it.
It's stupid to use.
What's that?
If you outright look for ones that say like, how like foster care bad, you're gonna find it. Like, and yeah, system's not always great, but it doesn't mean it's the most damaging thing. Like,
Right.
the foster care would probably have actually been better than with him, because as far as we know, the children, when they have gone to foster care, they've gone to the same place apparently, and that family loves them and want to adopt them. Like, they actually give a damn about those kids, and like, they've always come back healthier, better dressed. He's talking about stuff like care homes, or where they're given to families in the, like, from what I understand, the poorer areas where people do just take foster children in for the paycheck. But it's not all bad. My ex was in foster care. He got adopted out. I know this is in England, so a bit different, but it would have been way more damaging for him to stay with the biological mother. Way more damaging. Like, she was a heroin addict and the dad was a nonce. But no, foster care is obviously going to be so much worse for them.
Yeah, well, it speaks to how extreme the situation is, right? Because it's usually a last resort, right? And
and I do get what he's saying, because like, my ex with my daughter did brainwash me into being scared that my little girl would be legally kidnapped, which is where CPS social services do take the child away to adopt out, because what normally happens is there's a quota, and if they don't meet a quota, they don't get as much money to carry on, which means people don't get bonuses or raises or things like that. But it's not as common as you think. And I got fed all that same bullshit that he fed Mouse and that he's saying now. And I was like, oh shit, this is a real thing. This is a real thing. And I got so nervous. But then I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, no. Started to actually look myself and find out it's wrong. But I know from like what I was told and what I looked into about it. And I'm like, it hurts me because I do have that personal connection with it. And I'm like, how can he fucking do that to people? Because it's the scariest thing to go through. You literally think you can't leave the person, because without them, CPS will take the kids straight away. And he would have been saying that to Mouse with her mental health issues.
oh yeah, he was using it, manipulating those big time. Yes, folks, it's not a motocross. We're doing some weed snipping out here. We got the weed whackers. We got I'll play a bit of that.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's great. The next question came in and said, why would they try to destroy little children's lives?
Why would they try to destroy my children's lives? Because they can't. Because they can't hurt me, so they hurt my children to get to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're whacking weeds, folks. We're whacking them.
That's terrible behavior. I mean, that's what's the intention?
All because they didn't like my opinions on the internet, man.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
one person by the name of Kenny KPZ made a YouTube video addressed to my wife, telling my wife to leave me. And I don't know this clown from Adam. I never met this guy before in my life. Yeah. But yet he gets on YouTube and makes a YouTube video telling my wife to leave me. Mm-hmm. Tried to destroy my marriage, man.
Well, I'm glad she saw through that. So.
Here's the thing. The trolls contacted her before she ever came up here. I don't know how they found out about her, but there was trolls contacted her down in Alabama and told her before she even come up here, said, yeah, VONHELTON's going to chop you up and put you in a freezer. And he's a killer, he's a murderer, he's a rapist, a child molester, blah, 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 blah. You're in danger if you go up there to stay with him. Right. And blah, 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 blah. And of course, none of it's true. Right. Absolutely none of it's true. But they almost convinced her to stay in Alabama. But My wife is kind of a little bit bullheaded, and she basically told the trolls to kiss her ass, and she come up here anyway, and lo and behold, none of the things the trolls said about me were true. Wow, imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess on that same length, you have been accused of all these things, and I have the question: you're accused of being a murderer, you're accused of being a child molester, you're accused of being a pedophile, you're accused of all these things, Ron. Why are you not in jail?
Well, that's a damn good question. Why am I not in jail? If I'm guilty of all that stuff, seems like I would be. But I do not have an ankle bracelet, nor am I in jail. So obviously, I'm not guilty of anything. In fact, it turns out that I was the head juror down here for 2.5 years straight in a row. You know how you have a jury foreman, and I was jury foreman for 2.5 years in our court system down here. I'm a model citizen.
What?
We don't even have so much as a traffic ticket.
Right.
So and it's good. I guess it's really a good thing that I am a good citizen, because I guess if I'd had any kind of record at all, I'd probably never saw my kids again.
Right.
And I guess that's probably what the trolls were banking on. See, the trolls, I'm thinking that the trolls are probably thinking that I was just as evil as they are, because I can tell you right now, most of these trolls, me and my wife have done some digging on the internet and found out that most of these trolls have criminal records. And I guess they were thinking that, well, if I've got a criminal record, surely Von Helton does. Right. And come to find out, no, actually, I don't have a criminal record. I don't have anything against me at all. No.
We're going to probably end this broadcast here in a second. I do have one more question. The question is, one of our friends here in the on the YouTube has said a couple occasions, and I want to have you answer this, that if someone disagrees with you, Von, you cut them off and you defriend them and you block them. So what is the truth about that?
Well, that's actually ridiculous. In fact, when I was on Stickam, I had an atheist as my head mod. Disagreed with me on everything I talked about, but yet he was my head mod. And then I had in Blog TV, I had mods that were atheists. I had mods that were, I even had a mod that was a LeBan Satanist. And so I mean, no, that's just not true at all. I've got many people that disagree with me, and they're not blocked, they're not banned, they're not they're not talked about negatively or whatever. So
I guess
Can I ask a question?
To be an ass and everything, you treat somebody.
I got to ask a question, and I know Secular being king of Canada, you might not be the right person to ask. Maybe if anybody in the chat could answer this. Are you foreman on a jury for a case, or do they hire you for a job for that? Because everybody else on a jury is just randomly picked.
Yeah, I thought that's what happened, and then the random people that are picked talk amongst each other and go I want to be foreman, and they go, no, I want to be foreman, and they go, yeah, okay, you can be foreman, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the way I assumed it worked. I've been brought up for jury duty 3 times and never been selected. But I assumed that the way it works, in the movie, right, 12 Angry Men, right, they just kind of pick one. They all get in the room and they pick a foreman.
As far as I was aware, that was it.
Can you imagine the degenerate the degenerate Kentucky fucking jury that would point to Von Helton as their leader?
He obviously bullshitted them and was like, "Oh yes, I finished high school and I went into the military and I did this and I've done that and I've got my own company and blah 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 blah." It's
yeah, I don't think it ever happened. I don't think it ever happened. Yeah, I don't think anything. I don't think it ever happened.
Could you imagine any jury going, you know what, we like that guy's bias so much, we don't just want him on a jury. We want him on all the juries.
Yeah.
Because in those cases, they do pre-trial interviews, don't they? And they ask, do you have any biases against this? And they'll ask questions. And again, as I always say, he's such a gobshite. He would not be able to keep his mouth shut about questions they asked him about his biases. And they were like, no, we don't want you. Sorry. Goodbye.
And who's interviewing him?
This is Shane Pinson, I think his name was.
Is this person... Are they messing with him, or is this person also?
No, he used to hang out with this group called the Wolf Pack. Emo Howling Wolf used to sniff around there, I think, at one point too. And that's where the infamous when they stop saying the N-word, I'll stop saying it. That was the big fallout. That was the straw that broke the camel's back with this group. That was in a Shane Pinson hangout with Eve Real.
What is it with fucking white little hillbilly hicks obsession with the N-word.
I mean,
I've never wanted to say it. I've not said it unless I've had to be saying it in an explanation way or something. And then I tried to just say the N-word. I don't like saying it even then. But I've never thought to say it like, oh, like, yeah, I get the N-word pass. Like, who the fuck thinks like that?
Well, fair's fair, I guess, in Kentucky.
As an ass, you get blocked and everything. I would think. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
thing.
if you call CPS and try to destroy my family, or if you make a hate video telling my wife to leave me, or if you try to destroy my computer business or my graphics arts business, then yeah, I'm going to block and ban you. Of course, duh. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I need to head off. I've got to go pick my kid up from school.
Didn't need to know.
All right. See you later. Have a good day.
Right. And you, I'll be lurking, watching, like always, watching, waiting. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thanks for the warning. Okay.
Okay. Well, and I'll leave everybody with this. When you love him, you hate him, subscribe to his channel. I'm sure he will appreciate that. Watch his videos and put some up. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out here. We're probably going to be doing a couple more interviews with some other people. I'm going to be trying to get kind of a guest list together. And if you have a suggestion of somebody you'd like to see me interview, and maybe we could talk to them or see if they come on the show or whatever. Appreciate them. All the input there. And of course, subscribe to my channel and share the video where you can, whatever. But until then, appreciate it. See you on the other side.
All right, folks. That was the second part of the interview with Von Helton, 2013. Jello shots. I know you came late to the party, but you got anything to add to that?
I mean, just in the little bit that I caught, there's so much to unpack. Like the way he describes Andrea coming to, it wasn't even near the way it happened. People did try to warn her, but and of course, I'm sure there were actual trolls trolling him, saying actual weird things, but the fact is, she was like a 19-year-old mentally deficient person, and people were saying, sounds like he's grooming you. Maybe you shouldn't go. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's that is a accurate assessment.
Yeah. Good times. So we got word out there that this Von Helton merchandise that he was just unboxing, the print is already coming off the merchandise. So there you go. We know these people are not washing these garments, so just speaks to the quality that you would come to expect from the Von Helton compound.
What? He patted his tummy and said it's good quality.
No. Sorry, folks. Get what you pay for. Well, I do have a request here. Since we're talking about quality products. Folks, if you're looking for a quality product, see what happens here.
Fact: Canada is the world's second largest country, behind only Russia. Fact: Canada produces 30% of the world's uranium. Fact: Canada has no tigers. Why is that? Answer: Tiger Rock. For the first time, Canada's best-kept secret since James Doohan is available south of the border. Hundreds of years ago, European missionaries probed the deepest recesses of the Canadian jungle, surprised to find tribes of godless, half-naked savages, but no tigers. It was these peoples of the First Nations that shared the secrets of Tiger Rock. But what is Tiger Rock? How does it work? Morgon energy, like Orgon energy, but more powerful, more intense, more better. And as part of our special Hello USA promotion, you'll get your first Tiger Rock Morgon charge absolutely free. But wait, there's more. That's right, as part of our Hello USA promotion, you'll get the Tiger Rock Chamois, and your first Morgon recharge. Tiger Rock, tigers no more.
Order today, or watch your family viciously torn to pieces by tigers.
A portion of all proceeds will go towards the Tiger Rock Youth Initiative.
There you go, folks.
I'll take 6. Like, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, just if you care about your family, I'm just throwing that out there. But I don't know. I think that's where we're at. I think I was under the impression I think Drag might be doing something at 10, so it's be a good spot to end it, I think. What do you think, Jello?
I think I got in at the perfect time.
I think you just got you wiggled your way in at the end to the perfect time. All right. Thank you everyone for showing up. And tonight, Weirdo Wonderland. Like I said, we got a tight show tonight. Not going to want to miss it. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night. Goodbye. See you later. Get the fuck out.